everybody? It's your girl, Nicole Banister, aka NIKKI BANZ. And today is the 1 year anniversary of NIKKI BANZ Live! Oh my gosh, 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 it's been 1 whole year. Oh my goodness gracious, y'all. I'm at a loss for words. I'm doing this entire show today, just me, you, and the camera, like the whole time. So I can't be at a loss for words, but honestly, it is just absolutely insane that I am at this point. It is so crazy. I'm like just getting ready. The tears are coming, y'all. Try not to wear a lot of eye makeup because I am gonna be crying today, y'all. I'm gonna be all up in my feels. It's the 1 year anniversary of NIKKI BANZ Live. For 1 whole year, every single Tuesday for 1 year, I have been coming to you live with the most incredible guests, the most incredible people from different countries around the world. And y'all have been rocking with me this entire time. I am so blessed. I'm so grateful. Oh my God, I'm already crying. I said I was gonna cry. I was like, I know I'm gonna cry today. I'm like literally already tearing up. Like it's just, I am so grateful, truly. Like for those of you watching live right now, for those of you watching on YouTube, for those of you watching in the future, I don't care when you're watching. The fact that you've been watching, the fact that you've been supporting me, the fact that you've been here every single Tuesday, watching my journey, watching my growth, supporting this process, truly means the world to me. So thank you. I'm 2 minutes into the show and I'm already crying. Oh my gosh, I'm such a mess. I for sure thought I'd be crying, like a little bit farther down the line, but I'm like, oh, here we go. It's just all coming. Okay, but to be fair, I was crying like all day yesterday and all day today, so it's fine. I got my tissue right here. Oh my goodness. So party people, today I'm doing something very different. I am bearing my whole soul to you all. So I'm going to be here with you throughout the next hour just talking. It's just you and me and my ring light and my sound effects, okay? That is what we got going on today. And for those of you who are here, I am eternally grateful. But I do have to say I will have a couple of VIP guests coming on later. I'm not going to tell you who they are, but I have a couple of VIP guests coming on later, so stay tuned for that. But I want to spend the first 15-20 minutes just talking to you all and just giving you some background, some history, where this all started, where this all came from. I want to be able to give you that context and give you that background. But first, it is a celebration. It is an anniversary. So tell me in the chats, tell me in the comments. I want to hear some things from you. Tell me who have been your favorite guests. What have been some of the best interviews that you've heard? Tell me some of those things in the chat. I'm going to be engaging. I'm going to be connecting with you all. A number of you asked me questions before this moment, and I'm going to be answering those questions as well. So I'm super excited to get to all of that. So please, let's keep this fun. Let's keep this engaging. Let's keep this interactive. I'm seeing so many familiar faces. Hello, Melanie. Hello, Hanan. Hello, Shabnam. Hello, Christine. Hello, Janine. Hello, Julian. Hello, Michael. Hello, Noor. Hello, Mom. Hello, Dad. There's so many familiar faces who I'm seeing here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's just honestly, it's just like such a treat to have all of you absolutely incredible humans here. But it is a celebration, so we gotta talk about some of the stats. I be liking my stats. Sometimes I pretend like I don't like math, but growing up, math was my favorite subject in high school and in middle school. Actually, I got a 5 on my AP Calc test, so I used to be pretty good at math. Now, not so much, but I'm gonna give you a little bit of info, okay? So, I have interviewed 50 guests. 50! 5-0, fam. When I tell you that last week I interviewed Kanisha Malhotra from India and I didn't even realize that was my 50th guest, I had no idea. So 50 people have come onto NIKKI BANZ Live, and I have had guests from, let me see the stats, I wrote it all down, y'all, from 28 different countries. 28 different countries. And that to me is super important and super special because I don't see any other show out there doing that. I don't see any other show that's bringing on this diversity of people. People from different religions, people from different races, people from different backgrounds, 28 different countries. And the countries are not like in one part of the world or on one continent either. I've had people from the African continent, from Nigeria, from Tanzania, from Zambia, from Zimbabwe, from South Africa, which is where I am right now. I've had people from North America, people from the US, people from Mexico. I've had people from places like Uzbekistan. I've interviewed people from France, someone from Germany. It's been an absolutely super diverse and dynamic group of people, and I truly don't see that happening enough. And when I think about, oh, it's gonna make me emotional again. You know, when I think about one of the reasons why I wanted to have this show, right? It's because, you know, I think it's critical for us to have these cross-cultural dialogues. You know, there's so much hate in the world. You know, so many people are trying to draw lines in the sand around our differences. So many people are trying to tell us that we are so different and that we are not actually all the same. And one of the things that I truly, truly, truly believe in, and I'm trying to do with this show, is I'm trying to show that at the end of the day, our similarities far outweigh our differences. And this makes me emotional because when I see all the hate that's in the world right now, you know, when I see all the countries that are at war with one another, when I see the way that people don't want to talk to people if they are wearing a hijab or if they have black skin, you know, that stuff gets to me. And I just think it's so incredibly important to make sure that on a regular basis, you can talk to somebody that looks different from you. I think it's so important that on a regular basis, you are having an interaction with someone who looks different than you, you know? Those things are critical. That's literally the story of my life, right? My dad is Black American and my mom is from Iran. At the end of the day, love wins. You can have successful, thriving, happy relationships, romantic or platonic, right? With people who are different from you. And I think so often we forget that. Like, take a look at the circles of people around you. Take a look at the people in your network right now. Do you have a diversity of religions? Do you have a diversity of backgrounds? Do you have a diversity of races in that group? And if you don't, you need to rethink that. You need to rethink the people who are around you because it is a big, bold, diverse, dynamic world out there. And it is so important that we continue to acknowledge and recognize that our differences are the spice of life. It's okay that we're different because at the end of the day, our similarities, our shared humanity is the thing that makes us who we are. It is the thing that connects us as humans and all of us around the world. That is what it is. That's what it's all about. You know, and like I said, this just makes me so emotional because I cannot think of any better way to expose people to all the different types of diversity and dynamism out there than to actually have these conversations, intimate fireside chats like what we're having right now. You know, having a chat where we can have people tuning in from multiple different countries, multiple different backgrounds, and having a conversation together. Like, it's crazy to me that I can interview someone from South Africa, and I can interview someone from Uzbekistan, and I can interview someone from Mexico, and they all say the same thing, man. Like, this is literally what happens. People say the exact same things about their growth, about their challenges, about their successes, about how they got to be to where they are today. And I hope that every time you watch NIKKI BANZ live, I hope that it's just a reminder of how incredible you are, of how unique you are, of how special you are, and that there are so many other people out there who are on the same journey as you. There are so many people out there who are on the same path as you, even if they're superstar celebrities, right? And it's been, you know, it's been wild. Like, let's be real here, folks. I have had some absolute superstars on my show. If we think about somebody like Toby Bakre, right? Toby Bakre from Nigeria, millions of followers on Instagram, okay? And Toby came on the show. He's a Nollywood superstar. He got his start on Big Brother Naija, and Toby came on the show. And these are folks who are coming on the show, giving their time freely, giving their time willingly, willing to push the agenda forward on having hard, diverse conversations, right? These are people who are willing to push that agenda farther. You think about another guest that I've had on my show, Nas Daily. Nas Daily on Instagram has somewhere between 2 and 3 million followers. Across the internet, 50 million followers. And that's someone who, again, was willing to come on my show, give their time freely, openly, and willingly in an attempt to share messages about diversity, about plurality, about the realities of being who he is in this world. And I think that's the thing about NIKKI BANZ Live that really, that strikes me. You know, there are people with massive followings, people with big backgrounds coming on the show. I see my homegirl Mpaki just joined. Mpaki's best friend, Sivin Gessi, one of my first guests on the show. I had Sivin Gessi on the show, this incredible South African actor. Sivin Gessi was one of my first guests on the show the very first month of NIKKI BANZ Live. A year ago, when I started this show, Sivin Gessi is literally in The Woman King with Viola Davis. And what happens when Sivin Gessi comes on the show? Sivin Gessi comes on here and talks about ending period poverty and how to make sure that women and girls across the world have access to safe and healthy menstrual products, right? Like, it's not about the fact that these people are superstars. It's not about the fact that these people have followings. That's never what it's about on NIKKI BANZ Live. What it is about is making sure that everybody knows that they have purpose, that they have things to contribute to this world, that no matter how many followers you have, what your status is, what you do, whether you're a journalist or an actor or an activist or an entrepreneur, no matter what that background is, you are using your platform, using your voice to make a difference in this world. And for me, that's what I had to do here. And it's actually funny that I was mentioning Siv. You know, a lot of people have asked me about like the start of NIKKI BANZ Live and how did it actually start? So many of you know that I quit my job in the international development and diplomacy sector a year ago. So in March 2023, I quit my job. And I quit not just my job, but I quit the entire international development sector as a whole, right? I just quit the whole sector. For me, there were so many things that were challenging, frustrating, and there's some people who choose to stay within the system and fight. I had fought for 10 years and I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. So I quit. I went back to Los Angeles. I stayed at home with my parents for a couple of different months, and I was just at home with them. I was watching Law & Order SVU on the couch, chilling with some old friends, eating Iranian food. I didn't do anything. I took a hard stop and a hard break, and I really thought, what is it that I want to do? What am I passionate about? What is it that I want to bring to the world? And I thought, like, the answer came to me. I'd always wanted to be a host. I'd always wanted to be on TV. I'd always wanted to present. I always wanted to be in front of a camera, in front of a ring light. I'd always wanted to do this. And I had done that in some capacities in the development world. I was so grateful to have been asked to speak at the United Nations. I've spoken at the United Nations headquarters in New York City. I've spoken at the State Department in Washington, D.C. I've facilitated trainings and workshops for people in multiple countries across the African continent, across the Western Pacific. So I'd always been speaking. I'd always had this dynamism for being in front of people. And I wanted to do good. That's why I was working for nonprofits and NGOs and these big multilateral agencies, trying to do good work, trying to have, an impact on people. And I wanted to be more creative. I felt confined and restricted by the barriers and the boundaries in the international development space. And I felt like I couldn't express my creativity to its fullest potential. So I said, okay, I'm going to quit. And when I came back to Cape Town after those couple of months, there was actually two people I reached out to. I reached out to Sivin Gessi, like I said, who's one of the guests on my show. And I reached out to Mzu Ntantiso, who is a well-known actor and rapper here in Cape Town. And I sat down with both of them, about 3 hours, each separate conversations. And I said, I want to get into the entertainment industry. I have no background. What do I do? I was like, I want to be a TV show host and an MC, but like, what does that mean? What am I supposed to do? And the advice that they both gave me, they said, you need to build a brand. You need to build a portfolio. Cool, you spoke at the UN, so where's the video? And I was like, well, I don't have one. They're like, well, you need a video. And that's why I started NIKKI BANZ Live. I was like, okay, I'm going to tap in to every single person that I know who's a mover and shaker in this world. I don't care what country they're from. I don't care what their background is. I was like, I'm going to tap into these networks and ask them to come on my show. Let's chat. Let's have an interview. Let's talk about how you got to where you are, how this success that you have today, how that, was sparked and how it started. And so I can distinctly remember I was at this coffee shop and it was like the day, right? Because I told myself, I was like, I'm going to start this show. It's going to happen. But I was like, I have to book at least 8 guests before I can before I can actually launch, right? I was like, I need 2 months of content, right? 1 guest per week, 4 weeks in a month, 8 guests will be perfect. If I get confirmations from 8 people that they can come on the show, then I will launch NIKKI BANZ Live. So I remember the first guest, the first guy I ever interviewed on the show, one of my brother Julian's friends named Young Pole Master, this incredible dancer and dance instructor based out of Los Angeles, California. We'd all gone to high school together. He's really good friends with my brother, knows my parents. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have Miles on as the first guest. It'll make me feel more comfortable because even though Miles is a superstar, I know him. We went to high school together, and even though I haven't seen him in person, it's gonna be fine. So I was terrified. I was so terrified to just send that first message. Like, what if nobody wants to be on my show? What if nobody thinks this is cool? You know, I don't know, like all those things running through your head that I'm sure so many of you right now who are on this live have thought before. Like, is this going to work out? Is this going to be the thing? Are people going to like this, right? Are people even going to say yes? Maybe everyone's going to say no, and then NIKKI BANZ live is just not a thing, right? So I was so nervous. It was like about noon in Cape Town, right? It was noon in Cape Town. So I messaged Miles, Young Pole Master, on Instagram. I literally sent him a DM, and I'm thinking, okay, it's noon in Cape Town, which means it's 3 o'clock in the morning in LA, so he probably won't respond. Like, maybe he'll respond tomorrow. So it was like, okay, I'm gonna send it and then see what happens. Like, I don't know. And Young Pole Master, aka Miles, responds immediately. I send this DM, immediately he responds, and he's like, Nicole, I'm in, this is amazing, let's do it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have my first guest, right? And I'm like, I'm so geeked, right? Like, I'm so excited that someone said yes to me. And that has continued. I've asked so many people to be on the show, 50 guests, and 50 people have said yes. And I know for a fact that more and more people are going to say yes. And to me, that is the greatest gift. I'm going to get emotional again. That is the greatest gift and the greatest blessing, that people are giving their time, you know, because like many of you know, like NIKKI BANZ Live is not sponsored. NIKKI BANZ Live, like nobody's paying me to do this. You know, I just want to create space for us to have these conversations and for us to be able to, have real and honest dialogue with role models around the world, with people who we look up to, and learn about their stories and their backgrounds so that we too can grow from those things. So the fact that 50 people around the world have said yes is just, it just makes me cry because you just never know who's going to say yes and who's going to do what, who's going to come out and support you until you try. So truly, this is a message and a reminder for everybody out there who is just thinking like, well, what if this thing is going to work? I have this passion. I have this thing I've always wanted to do. What if nobody supports me? And I'm telling you for a fact that if it is your truth, and if it is your purpose, and if it is your power, if it is the thing you are destined to do, then it will work. And trust me, like it took me a long time to figure that out and to really believe it and internalize it. It's so easy for us to get caught up in what the world is saying and what society is saying. Like, oh, you can't leave international development. Like, this is your industry. You've been doing this for 10 years. You have to stay in this. Oh, you can't leave your job. You can't leave that. There's so much noise from so many people and so many things. And I internalized so much of that. I thought like, well, if I'm doing something creative and I'm not making money, like, am I even successful, right? And for me, just taking that leap of faith and just saying, okay, I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what happens. Let's just try. Let's just see what happens. Let's see if people say yes. And just taking that leap of faith and actually trusting in myself and knowing at the end of the day that this is my destiny. It's NIKKI BANZ Live today. It's Netflix tomorrow. It's CNN the next day. It's BBC the week after that. And I know that stuff is coming. I know that is coming, and it's this deep knowledge and this deep sense of self. Somebody had asked me when I had did like an Ask Me Anything on Instagram, somebody asked me, what is your secret? And honestly, my secret is that I have this deep knowledge and this deep trust and faith in myself that everything is going to work out. And even if I'm not making money, fam, I'm not making money off of NIKKI BANZ Live, okay? Like, even if I'm not making money for right now, it's an investment in myself. I know for a fact that all those things are coming because it can't not come. Because I'm a star, yo. Like, it can't not come, man. There's no option. There's no option for failure, yo. Like, this is my purpose and my path. So I encourage each of you who are watching this right now to just think in your heart and in your soul, what is it? What is your thing? What is that thing you've been always wanting to do? Are you doing it already right now? Or do you need that push? Please look at this moment right here on NIKKI BANZ Live and take this as your push, as your incentive to do the thing that you have always wanted to do. I'm telling you, there's no way it can fail because it is your destiny. It truly is your destiny. Woo! Party people, y'all got me all in my feels about you crying on the live. Sheesh, Lord. And y'all are just giving me so much life in the comments. Keelan, Janine, Shanoa, Leah, Melanie, Hanan, Rachel. Shout out to Rachel, one of my former guests on the show. I mean, honestly, this is just love. This is so much love, and I'm so grateful to all of you for being here. And this is not it, y'all. So I have a couple of VIP guests I'm gonna bring on. I'm gonna bring them on now. I'm sure I'm gonna just keep on crying, but I'm gonna bring some VIP guests on right now, because there is no such thing as a celebration without the people who, you know, got you to this point, without the people who, you know, made you who you are today. So with that being said, party people, I am so honored to bring on some inmates to come celebrate the 1-year anniversary of NIKKI BANZ Live with me. I've just invited these VVIPs to come on right now.
Hey, party people, wherever you are in the world. This is Mama Banz. I am Papa Banz, and we are here celebrating 1 year with NIKKI BANZ Live. She's had 50 guests, having fantastic, deep conversations about everything in the world. Today, ladies and gentlemen, is a Banister family takeover of NIKKI BANZ Live. We are here to get the party rolling, here to get the party going. So I tell you what, everybody, let's go!
Nicole, it's so great being here with you.
Oh,
I'm crying already. I'm crying already.
That was In the Stone by Earth, Wind, and Fire, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. I am so thrilled. There's nobody else in the world that I would rather share this moment with than my parents.
All right.
Oh my God.
And this is just so sweet.
Don't start crying. I'm already crying. And I don't have a lot of
It's always gonna let it flow today. We're gonna let it all flow today. I don't care. I'm crying. I'm like, whatever. You're going to see me being raw and honest and vulnerable, and that's what people need to see. So thank you for coming on and for celebrating with me.
All right.
And you look gorgeous and fabulous, like always.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Mama and Papa Banz, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very special moment. I literally was like, okay, I honestly, in my head, guys, I was like, okay, I'm either going to get a superstar, a superstar, or it's just going to be me and the family. And I have to admit, I did invite the one and only Bozoma St. John to come on to the show today.
Okay.
And some of you will know Bozoma St. John as the former CMO of Netflix and just an all-around superstar. I work with her at Nas Academy. So I did ask Bozoma St. John, and I have to say she declined, but she did respond. So she did respond, and she said, you know, she said, I can't do it. I'm so sorry. I'm really busy this week. But she did say, you know, sending you so much love. Congrats on the 1 year. And I was like, all right, well, if it can't be Bose, then we keeping it in the Bannister family. So
but we don't mind being, Nicole, we don't mind being your second choice. That's all right. We're good.
It's not bad getting 2 superstars instead of 1.
Exactly. I'll take 2 over 1 any day.
We're standing anytime.
So congratulations. I saw you was getting a little bit emotional so far. So are you ready for questions, or how do you want to do this?
I'm so ready. Ask me anything you want to ask me. I wanted to create an opportunity for you to be able to ask me some things and share things with me. You have been loyal followers of this show. You have supported me since day 1, literally since day -9 months. You've supported me. So,
well,
yes,
she carried you. Yeah, we supported you, but she carried you. So,
hey.
Yeah.
So talk to me. What y'all got for me, Mama and Papa Banz? It's your moment.
Oh, just wondering when you're gonna pay rent. Are you gonna pay rent next year? Next summer when you come over? on like Netflix or Hulu or something, so she can get paid, so she can pay us.
That's ice cold. That's ice cold.
Ice cold, literally. Mama Banz coming in hot with the flames, yo. Oh, it's burning. It's winter, but it's burning.
Nah, you know we love you. We'll give you 2 more years.
Yeah. Well, all right. Okay. All right. So on a more serious note, tell us, you think back of those 50 guests and the whole year of NIKKI BANZ Live, what would you describe as the high point? Is there one thing that you can say was a real high point throughout the course of the year?
Oh, that's a great question. The high points. I can't say one specific high point, but I can say that there are certain guests who I have asked to be on the show, who, when they said yes to the show, I was completely thrilled and overjoyed by. And I think it's because these are folks that have really, really, really big followings on social media. And again, like, it's so hard when I'm starting off, like, I'm brand new. I'm only 1 year into the entertainment space, right? So for some people who are like mega superstars with millions of followers on Instagram, you know, for them to say yes to a pro bono interview by me just starting off on the industry, it's not the fact that they have the following that they have. It's the fact that they have the faith in me and they trust me to hold space for them to have a conversation that they actually want to have. So there have been some moments where, like, certain guests, you know, I think about folks like Michelle Carre, who's an incredible YouTuber, one of the top 20 female YouTubers in the world. Folks like Toby Bakre from Nigeria, the Nollywood star I talked about earlier. Folks like Nas Daily. When people like that have said yes to the show, I will just burst into tears, because it's a vote of confidence in Nicole Banister that I felt like you know, for folks who I maybe thought were, like, you know, out of my league or something like that. And so I think that some of those people saying yes to me and getting that yes, having that faith in me, that's been really, like, reassuring as I go through this process and as I continue to see, like, you know, can I do this? Am I worth it? So getting those responses is really, really touching.
Well, but I have to say, though, everybody that's been around you, and you've always been like this, you've been sort of magnetic in that regard with your positive energy and your enthusiasm and all of that sort of thing. And I just recall one time one of our friends said, Nicole's never met a stranger, right? So it's one of those things. You have one of those qualities. Your brother's like that too. People gravitate to him too. And so it's like you just have that excitement, you have that energy, and people just want to be around you. They want to engage you. And you ask, really, actually, throughout the course of the series, you've asked phenomenal questions, had great, deep conversations on really serious subjects, helping to change the world. So keep doing it. Keep knocking the ball out of the park. Keep doing your thing.
What a phenomenal woman. Bravo. We're so proud. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I seen some of the notes, the comments in here. Oh, the shade and whatever with ha-has. But see, the thing is, we love Nicole to death. I'll speak for myself anyway. But we have to keep Nicole grounded. That's my part. So
they're like,
we can't sit here and have a whole hour of, oh, Nicole, you're so fabulous. It's like, hey, what when you come here?
That's so funny. Yeah, literally. I can already picture it. I'll be like, yeah, mom, dad, just got my first TV show on Netflix, just got my private jet, and then you're going to still keep me grounded. You're going to say something, you know, like, make sure your head doesn't get too big. That's good. We all need checks and balances in life.
Yeah, but well, we like to also tease in our family. We tease with love. We throw shade with love. We have fun.
That's true.
Fun.
Okay, so now going back to a year, reflecting on the year. Tell us the scariest moment you had while you were live. What's the scariest moment you had while you were live? And who was that?
Papa Banz coming in hot with the heat. Excellent question.
I ask questions. Where do you think you get that from? Come on.
Yeah,
I know, right? Literally.
Yeah.
Bringing that heat. Okay. Scariest moment that I've ever had live. It had to be with this phenomenal young change maker named Deepak Ramola. He's from India, and he was also one of the early guests on my show. So somebody who was on the show perhaps in the first 2 months. So one of those first, 8 people that I reached out to before I even started the show. And Deepak's interview was the first interview where the whole live just crashed. Like the whole live just completely crashed. And I was petrified because this is my first time doing live interviews. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've lost my whole guest. We were only talking for 20 minutes. I was like, what do I do? Do I just stop the whole thing? Do I try and get him back? Like, does he not like me anymore? He just canceled the interview. You know what I mean? Like all these thoughts are running through my head. So that was an absolutely petrifying moment because I just didn't know what to do. And since then, it's so great. It's actually really helped my career, I think, a lot for live TV, in the future, because I know what to do now if someone's internet pops off. Or here in South Africa, I know everybody in here from South Africa knows about our load shedding, okay? So, or like load shedding happens in the middle of an episode. What am I gonna do? I have to say too, Dad, the other time that was super nerve-wracking was, again, one of my early guests for this woman, fabulous woman named Chiki Karuka from Kenya. She's an incredible dancer, host, entrepreneur. Chiki was one of my very first guests as well in those first couple of months. Yeah, and Chiki got the time wrong for our interview.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's right.
Y'all remember that? So Chiki
her
was
hair
like
messed up, or she thought she didn't have her hair right.
like something. She was 15 minutes late. And so I'm sitting there like, okay, Chiki, like start the interview, and so I'm like freaking out. I'm like, is she gonna come? Am I just gonna have to do this? Just talk for an hour and see what happens? So I was so nervous. And then actually one of her friends who signed on to the live literally messaged her and was like, girl, where you at? Girl, like everyone's on the live waiting for you. But
and then she was fabulous. Yeah, and then she was great. Yeah.
So those have been scary moments. That was a good question, Pops. Okay, I see you.
Hey, I'm trying. So what question do you have for us? Do you have any questions for us?
I have a question.
Mom has a question.
So who was or a couple of the really fun ones? Like they were really lively and fun, and who were they?
That's such a good question. I have to say, number one, most fun interview was for sure with my boy, RJ Saeed from India. Saeed is a radio jockey, so he's always on the microphone. He does radio shows all over India and beyond. And so Saeed, I mean, you know how I always have my little sound effects? Saeed had sound effects. He had music, and then he flipped the switch on me. He was asking me questions, right? Yeah. Normally I'm the one asking questions. Yeah. So Saeed is now asking me questions, and then he says like, "What's your favorite Indian song?" So obviously I say, Jalebi Baby by Tesha. So he starts playing it. So we get up and we're dancing.
Exactly. I was dancing with you guys. I was watching that show, and I was getting up and doing my Bollywood.
Yeah, so there definitely been some very fun interviews, but that one for sure was like just wild because it was just so playful and like dancing. I mean, that was a cool one.
Wow. All of them I've watched. I think I've only missed maybe once or something, but yeah, they've all been great. They've all been so many inspiring ones. I love it. I take notes. I'll take a screenshot if they said something or showed, whatever.
I think if I had to flip the script and ask y'all a question, I'd be curious, since watching these interviews, what is something that each of you has learned? Like, is there something that you either had never thought of before, didn't know before, or something, about this whole, something that you learned, either from a guest or just from this experience in general, since y'all tune in to almost every single episode? Is there something that you've learned, from these interviews?
For me, it's not so much about learning. Yes, I've learned, of course, but it's just understanding and appreciating all these amazing people all over the world, and especially so many in Africa's, and you've done India, all over the world, but so many amazing people. And I love everything most of them have said, if not all, everything. Everybody's on the same page. They're kind, they're giving back. And I love that. And yeah, their work ethics, their, the way they share with families, it's been amazing. Yeah. So just their appreciation. I just get more full, my cup is getting more fuller and fuller, it's great. So to see especially because there's so many young people, and it's been great. It's like there is hope. Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I think if I build on that, what I would say is there's sort of two things. One is that the world is going to be okay because of young people like you and the young people around you and the kinds of things that you guys are interested in doing. Both whether it's your guest, whether it was all those young people on the GSEA, the program that you hosted, young people with those businesses, the world is going to be okay. And so I just have a lot of hope and confidence that that's going to be the case. So that's one thing I've learned. The second thing I've learned is sort of part of what you touched on and why you're doing this. Cross-cultural dialogue is really, really helpful. It's hard, right? It's been good for you because a lot of these people are your friends, and so having difficult conversations is okay when you're having it with your friends. It's harder to have difficult conversations with people who aren't your friends, but having difficult conversations is really, really good. And I just think the world needs more people who are open to and willing to have difficult conversations so that we can all learn together, so that we can all progress together. So that's one of the critical things that I've learned throughout the course of what you've done here, Nicole.
Thank you. Thank you. And I think it's important to reflect on these things. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to have you two here with me to celebrate and to talk to, because it is important to question these things, to learn, to grow, and to know, like, what is it that people are learning? What is it that people are taking away from these conversations? And I really love and appreciate this kind of feedback. Like, and for everyone who's here, who's watching, who's sharing, you know, I want to know your feedback. I want to know what types of guests you want to see on the show. I want to know what type of dialogue you want me to have. You know, those are questions that, you know, you can always slide into my DMs and tell me, you know, because I think it's really critical that, you know, the content that I'm giving you is something that is going to move us forward, and us being we the people, the world, you know. So I'd be curious, mom and dad, since this is, you know, since you're here with me, one other question I would have for y'all too is, what is the difference or the change that you've seen in me in the year of doing Nikki Banz Live? I'm you know, because I can say what I think for myself, but have you seen a change? Do you feel like I'm different since doing the show, or not, or same old Nicole?
You mean besides talking loud 100% of the time?
You can have shade.
Am I even louder now? What? What was that? Am I louder now?
But Nicole,
I know y'all missed me in the house. Whatever.
Nicole, you get that honestly, because literally I'm like, okay, he's talking so loud. I'm like, we're right here.
Why don't you go first? What's the change you've seen in it?
Really, there is no change. I mean, I see your, let's see, how do I put it? The biggest change, I think, is that there are a lot of people, because you're doing this on Instagram Live, and a lot of people get to see you. They get to see the amazing Nicole, lively, bubbly, intelligent, compassionate, fabulous Nicole, who's just trying to help the world, and still, you know, it's partying in the streets, but, you know, you are wonderful, giving, fabulous, you know, woman that you are. So a lot more people get to see that and get get the benefits from that. So we've always known this, and now a lot of people get to see it. But you are happy, seems like, most of the time.
Yeah. So again, so for me, you know, it's always a couple things. But I'd say one in particular is, I think your ability to diffuse conflict is really, really good and really, really skillful. I think you just do a great job, even better now than before, of being able to diffuse conflict between people and have a conversation without people, you know, having disagreements without being disagreeable, right? So that's one thing. I would say the other thing is your convictions are really, really clear now. A year ago, your convictions, you had desires, you had interests, you had things like that, but I would say your convictions about certain matters as they apply to the world are really, really clear. They're really, really deep. And I think that's fundamentally important for anybody who's trying to be a leader in any kind of form or venue where they are. You have to be secure and clear about who you are. You have to have your feet firmly planted in the ground with roots and understand who you are and have really deep convictions. And I think your convictions today are deeper than they were a year ago after having had 50 conversations throughout the course of this year with people on all these different subjects.
Thank you. Thank you for that feedback, for that perspective. And I think honestly, what you were saying, Dad, you know, there's one guest in particular I can reflect on, Laurel Chor, who's this phenomenal journalist from Hong Kong. I mean, journalist is like one word to describe all of the things that this woman does. She's an absolute superstar. And you know, Laurel said that after covering the big protests in Hong Kong that were happening a couple of years ago, and she's in Ukraine right now covering the war in Ukraine. And you know, she said that she had to take a side. She had to take a stand for the first time. She said, you know, journalists are typically looked at as people who are impartial, as people who are just reporting the facts, and that's it. And she said, you know, eventually she got to the point where she had to stand up and say, I am on the side of human rights. And like, it's just making me emotional again, because again, that, you know, for me to have to come out and to take a stand and say, you know, I am on the side of diversity. I am on the side of justice. You know, I am on the side of human rights. And to be able to have a platform like this to share it, it's just, you know, really, it's really special and it's really important, because we need more people. Yeah. Who are coming out with these kinds of convictions. We need more people. We need more good people. Like every single person who's on this live right now, we need more people to come out and say, you know, I'm on the side of people, and I am on the side of inclusion. And, you know, and I just think we need more good people to come out and do that, to come out and say that. So it's been really a blessing to be able to have a platform like this, to be able to share that, and to be able to amplify the voices of people who similarly feel that way across whatever their context is, whether it's journalism or entertainment or entrepreneurship, you know, content creation, you know, whatever it is. And I think it's important for us to stand up. So
yeah,
I'm so grateful.
A beautiful job at that.
Doing a terrific job.
Oh my gosh, you make me
Thank
cry.
you. I know, I'm crying too. It's all tears over here. It's all tears over here. But I feel like,
I need makeup people.
I know, excuse me, hair and makeup, little touch up, please. I'm not on the set of a TV show anymore. Where's my hair and makeup? Excuse me, see? Oh my goodness gracious. But I think this is a really good moment. You know, I told y'all, for everybody who's here on the live, I told y'all that we have a couple VVIP guests, and we wouldn't be doing things right if we didn't have the whole familia involved. So with that being said, I think it's time to bring in our next VVIP guest, because what would it be, a Nikki Banz Live 1 year anniversary celebration, if we didn't have the whole family involved?
Y'all know what time it is. Come on, man. Circle CEO JB Jew Block Heem checking in live and direct. Julian Banister from Washington, D.C. Super proud of you, Nicole. Checking in on the NIKKI BANZ live show. I'm over here at Auntie's crib. She knows what it is. I'm super happy to be here. How's it? It's been an interesting show. I'm cracking up at some of the commentary from Mom and Dad, of course. I guess they just had to hop off. But yeah, cracking up, but of course the commentary, just so delightful to see you, you know, continue to blossom into, you know, the person you're supposed to be. As like you say, you know, when you start to walk in your purpose, it's like, you know, doors open up, things start to happen, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, you know, today was a future thought, and yet here we are. And so now it's just, okay, you know, next. And so, you know, similar feelings on this end, you already know, but today's about you. Super, super happy to see you. Super, super grateful to be here. And, you know, just very proud of you. And I love you.
Julian, I know you're in the room. Julian Banister, my brother in the building. This is incredible. Thank you. I'm so blessed. I'm so honored that you're here with me. And I see we got lots of La Familia. I see we got Auntie Gordy, we got Uncle Paul, we got another cousin up in the building. There's all sorts of people
we got a lot of
tuning in here today. And I'm like, that is just so special. And Julian, you know, I think there's no possible way that I could be on this journey that I'm on, you know, without you, without the support of Mom and Dad. You know, one of the things that I think was so special about the pandemic was the fact that we started these like weekly Zoom calls, and we've been having those and continuing those, you know, for this whole time now. So it's been, you know, almost a year and a half, 2 years. And for us to be able to bounce ideas off of each other, for us to be able to, you know, talk about all the things that are going on in our lives, it's like, it's so special. And like, we wouldn't talk with that kind of frequency, you know, if it weren't for that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, speaking to that, that's really shout out to our ancestors, shout out to mom and dad, you know, shout out to our Persian family, shout out to our Black family in that sense too. It's like, you know, we are really able to do all these things, and it's like, yo, whose parents get on live?
Literally.
Or,
Literally.
you know, we do a lot of different things, and it's like it's very amazing that, you know, we have been able to been blessed to be able to do these things. And again, it's like, you know, you through our support, we're able to, you know, see you continue to carry on this mission and blossom into and to do all these great things that you want to do into this entertainment industry and leave the international development sector and really, you know, take charge and again use your voice and take a stand. You know, a lot of people are afraid to draw that line, and I see it with a lot of, you know, my friends or just people in general. And at the end of the day, though, we still have to have that compassion. Like, just because like one of my favorite Malcolm X quotes is, you know, I can't, you know, don't judge people by what you just learned. That don't judge people by what you learned yesterday or like today that you didn't know yesterday. And so, you know, we got to continue to just spread light, spread love. And that's what you're doing with NIKKI BANZ Live. And, you know, the world's a better place for it.
Thank you. Thank you. And Julian, I have to say that, you know, when I reflect on all the things that you have done, you really, now I'm going to get emotional again. You know, you give me so much inspiration, because for anybody that's watching this right now, Julian is the entrepreneur in the family. You know, like Julian, you have so many different businesses that you're a part of, buying aged corporations. I mean, you do all these things, you know, and I'm like, it took me so much energy to like start one thing that's not even a real company, that I'm not even getting paid for, you know. It took me so much effort to do that. And you have like 20 different businesses at your disposal, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I was like, wow, if Julian can do all these things, then surely I can start a little interview show on Tuesdays.
For surely. You know, the journey of, I've been saying this a lot, like the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. And, you know, even for us, like, you know, I've been a part of a lot of businesses, like, you know, some have done well, some are, you know, still in that, you know, sort of, you know, growth phase. You know, we've got a lot of great things on the table. You know, we're not making a ton of money. You know, we're taking a lot of, you know, personal time and sacrifice to do a lot of different things. But at the end of the day, you know, again, it's like making that choice, drawing a line in the sand, like where else would I be? You know, again, like where I am right now with, you know, Banister Athletics, AK Avexa, you know, shameless plug, Happy Healing, shout out. You know, to Green Lotus Society, our mobile clinic service, and our spiritual fellowship company, to, you know, even being able to maybe step into the process, the payment processing space, to like, you know, working with all these different people and all these different companies, you know, being able to, we're going to start hosting like corporate retreats and things like that, working at corporate wellness. There's all these different things that, again, today they were future thoughts. And so, you know, even still, they haven't necessarily all come to fruition, but you have to have faith. You have to stay grounded. You have to keep putting those feet forward. And so I know if I can do it, you can do it. And so can anybody else watching this live. So that's really what it comes down to. And we just got to keep spreading that mission that, you know, we do have the choice to make change. So, and it really just comes down to that every day. We got to make better choices.
Absolutely. I'm so with you. And I see Keelan is in the chat typing, you know, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. She loves that. I love that too. And I think, like you said, it's just such a reminder for people to just take one small step. Right? To just take one small step, one opportunity, just do one thing that puts you closer toward your goals and towards your passions, you know? And I think it can be so intimidating to do that. And that's what I talked about earlier. It can be so intimidating to just be like, I'm going to say no to all the noise, to say no to everybody else who's saying, you know, that you shouldn't be doing this, you should be doing that. It's like, well, this is actually the thing that I want to do. And to just pursue it, it takes so much courage. I see that in you every single day, Julian.
It's literally like 10 years ago, you know, I was graduating high school. I wanted to, now I'm getting emotional a little bit. It's like I wanted to start an international hemp company. And, you know, fast forward, you know, working in cannabis, you know, having to deal with the family, having to deal with the society, being Black, mixed, entering this space. It's very hard. And even with AK Evention, it's like, we've had to struggle so hard just to get our foot in the door when all we want to do is help people. It's like, man, they're really just out here with this philosophical battle. And we got to really continue to stand on our sword because they just keep fighting us every step of the way. And it's like, again, 10 years ago, everybody was like, why would you do this? Go corporate. You got this, you got that. Nah, I never did any of that. I started learning how to grow food to cultivate the city. Shout out to Niraj. Because 6 years later, he's given us great deals on how to get, our root pouches for our hemp growth that we are now, in our flower stage. We got land in Upper Marlboro. We're working with a judge. We have the opportunity to grow or to have our own single source, small batch, organic, hemp products. And we know the results and we know what it's going to be when it drops. So you just have to keep your faith and stay strong and know what you know and stand on that and move because they're going to try to shake you every way. But you got to keep fighting because God is great all the time. Sorry.
I mean, I'm so touched and honored that you share that with us and, just speaking your truth and speaking about, how hard it's been and how challenging it's been. And you're right. And the thing that you said, at the end of the day, like, yeah, we are Black. We are Black in this world trying to follow our passions, trying to follow our dreams. And there's so many things that are trying to keep us down as a people, as a culture, as young individuals, as young creatives. And, for someone to step out and step forward and say, I refuse to let society dictate my destiny. I refuse to let society dictate who I am in this world and what I'm going to do, to step out of that and to move forward the way that you are, the way that I am, the way that our parents did. That is radical self-love. That is radical self-love for us to step forward and say, I don't care if I'm a woman. I don't care if I'm Black. I don't care if I'm gay. I don't care if I'm Muslim. I don't care if I'm all these things that the world tries to stereotype us as trying to make us feel like minorities. We are not minorities. We are not the minority. We are
Check
the
the
minority.
stats. Check
And
the
we
stats.
are
Men lie, women
shifting
lie, numbers
people's
too.
Yes, we are shifting people's mindsets. We're shifting the way that the world sees us, and the way in turn we end up shifting the way that we see ourselves. And that's so powerful, Julian. I'm so glad that you shared that.
Yeah, so it's been a long journey, and again, yeah, it's the radical self-love to really take those steps. And again, I'm not, my journey is my own. I think everyone has their own journey of self-love to take, but until you really want to face yourself and look in the mirror, good luck. You're going to continue looking around, going around everywhere, trying to find a solution. It's right here. Just look in the mirror.
Exactly.
We got this. That's it.
I love that. I love that. Quote of the night from Julian Banister. He said, just take a look in the mirror. You got this. You got this. And I love that. And it's so true, and that's one of the things that I say often, just take a good look in the mirror and what do you see? And do you like what you see? And if you don't, just change it. It is on you. Take that one small step. And honestly, it's just, it's just something that's just so powerful, and it's so good to hear it. It's so good for people to say it out loud and to speak it and to say it in circles where they, where they feel comfortable and where they feel safe. So yeah, I mean, it's all love, and it's just so incredible to see people like you and just doing the things, defying society, defying the norms, and creating love and wellness around the world. It's just so beautiful. So beautiful.
Say with that though, shameless plug. Hold on. Okay, yes, Bannister Athletics. Look, I am a movement specialist. I do divine alignment. I've been working with a great gentleman named Antoine. He's taught me a lot of things about how to reshape the body in that sense. So if y'all ever need to come down to Maryland, I know some of y'all, probably a lot of y'all international. We also do a lot of online training and stuff like that too. So for anybody who has pain from your toes all the way to the tip of your head, from flat feet, to having sprained ankles, to having bad knees. You know, if you have had a major surgery, any of those things, you know, we can help you. Lower back pain, hip pain, you know, shoulder pains, neck pains, all these pains. So we do the movement because you know, a lot of people think that it's very much so like a one quick fix type of thing. You know, I'm gonna go get surgery, or I'm gonna go get this, I'm gonna go get that. It's like, you know, we try to bring a holistic aspect to it. So, you know, what we do is we teach you guys about how to move, but then, you know, we also have other things available to help you with those prolonged things. So again, shameless plug, shout out AK Avexia, Happy Healing. We have, you know, products that help with chronic pain, aging pain, athletic pains, to help you from a cellular level, from the inside out, because maybe you can't do all the movements, you know, maybe you need, and maybe some of y'all need some extra help. So what we do is help you kind of grease the wheels through some of these, you know, product formulations that we've all done in-house through our master formulator, Adityan Krishnan. He's a Ayurvedic practitioner, very great gentleman, very wise man. And, you know, he takes a lot of time to formulate these products through the divine sciences. And so they're Ayurvedically formulated with a little bit of, with full spectrum hemp. So we get the entourage effect of not only the synergistic herbs and essential oils, but also the compounds of the cannabinoids of the, you know, the cannabis plant. So we do that, but then also, you know, our GLS page, you know, we do a lot of spiritual practices. So we're trying to revive spirituality essentially and raise consciousness, uplift consciousness. So what we do on Sundays, we do homas, we do fire ceremonies that are ancient practice, 10,000 years old, from South India, Tamil Nadu. And, you know, we've been blessed by great sages to be able to do these things. And so, you know, what we do is we essentially do these meditations where we just pray for peace and prosperity for the world and uplifting, you know, general consciousness again. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but those are all my shameless plugs right now.
Julian, tell everybody all of the different Instagram handles so they can go and follow right after this live, because the work that you're doing around health, around wellness, around shifting consciousness is critical. So make sure you give folks your handles so that people can go follow.
I will. So actually, I just remembered. So we have two other new things that are about to drop. One, we can help people with their payment processing. So if y'all swipe cards, we could probably get y'all a better deal. And then number two, we have a new product that we might be launching soon, which is going to be it's not our product, but we might be helping to distribute it, but it's a antifungal, antimicrobial, antibacterial. It's good for like 7 years type of thing with a little spray. It's new technology. It's super top of the line, revolutionary in this sense. Again, we'll give more about it soon. So any of those things will spark your interest. You can contact me at Banister Athletics. You know, we got AK Avexia. We have Green Lotus Society. And then, of course, I forgot my shameless plug of the hemp farm, the Black Lotus Tribe. So we have our hemp grow up in Upper Marlboro to basically be able to vertically grow and process everything in-house, because we want to basically be able to produce products specifically with specific compounds that can target specific illnesses to help a lot of people, because, you know, it seems as though everybody's in pain these days, and, you know, everybody needs help. And so everybody's good. People need good products and they need good services. So at the end of the day, it just, you know, comes down to who's really putting it out there. So, you know, y'all come check us out. We'll make sure we get all our information to Miss NIKKI BANZ, and she gets that to y'all. But we out here, you know what I'm saying? Come holler at us in the DMV. We love and we appreciate y'all. Thank you for everybody who tuned in. Thank you for everybody who supports my sister. Yo, shout out to y'all. And shout out to you, sis. You know, I love you. Love to see you out here doing your thing. Appreciate you letting me come on. You know I don't got 10,000 followers or whatever, but, you know, we out here. Soon come, you know what I'm saying? Soon come. I got like 8 businesses, but you know what I'm saying? Ain't got, you know,
that's what I'm saying.
You know, they all in route. All the ships are going in the right direction. That's what matters.
Exactly. I'm like, were y'all listening to this? Everybody who's watching this right now, were y'all listening to the way he just rattled off, oh, I do this and this and this and this. I'm telling you, the boy is on fire.
Shout out to all my homies who joined in. I see my boy Kudus. I know my boy Brendan joined in too. Shout out Nora. Shout out anybody else. I didn't really check the chat that much. You know, I was kind of crying, so I can't.
You know
what I'm saying?
It's cool. I've been crying this whole entire hour, and honestly, you know, I just have to say that I'm so grateful, Julian, for you coming on the show. I'm so grateful to Mama and Papa Banz for coming on and sharing with us. I saw somebody typed in the chat, it's like a Banister family bonanza. Hell yeah! I was like, I'm
B-Town Buggy.
We're going to have the whole family come through and celebrate with me. And truly, for all of you, it is my absolute blessing and privilege to be able to bring you NIKKI BANZ Live every single week. It is one of the best blessings of my life. I'm so grateful to all of you. And I have to say, this is what I need from you, okay? I need you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's what I need you to do. I need you to suggest guests for the show. If you know superstar movers and shakers in their industries, you need to tell me who these folks are. I want to interview them. I want to share their stories with the world. So slide into my DMs with people who are absolutely incredible, people who I should be interviewing next during year 2 of NIKKI BANZ Live. Please bring those people to me. I also need you to comment and share NIKKI BANZ Live. Comment on these flyers when they come out. Share them with your friends. Share them with people who you think would get value from these interviews. That is what I need from all of you. And I know if you're watching this, you're probably already following me on Instagram. But if you're not, please follow me on Instagram at They Call Me Banz. So that's always great. But truly, I mean, to all of you who have tuned in today, who have shared this super special moment with my brother Julian, with my mom and dad, with all of us, this is just, I'm truly so, so, so grateful. Thank you to all of you, my friends, my fans, my followers, my family, all of you who have been here today and celebrated the 1-year anniversary of NIKKI BANZ Live. I'm so, so, so grateful to all of you. I would not be here without you, without every single guest who's come on my show. This is entirely possible because of you, and I'm so grateful to have you on my team and as part of my tribe. So thank you for celebrating the 1-year anniversary of NIKKI BANZ Live with me. Julian, I love you so much. I'll chat to you again soon.
Later. Auf Wiedersehen. Khodafes.
Khodafes. Kheli does that.
Haley does that. Khodafes.
Good night, everybody. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. We love you all. This is the 1-year anniversary special of NIKKI BANZ Live. Signing out. We'll see you next Tuesday, same time, same place, with another incredible guest right here on NIKKI BANZ Live.